I hope those guards don't come back to us. Once we're back on the familiar dirt path, I take one last look at the Metal Hill Village before refocusing on the road ahead of me. Our trek along the path is peaceful. The forest gradually awakens with bird song and the scuttling of woodland animals. Having grown up in the city, the sounds of nature still startle me. I glance every rustle of the leaves. I cannot read today. I am so illiterate today. I gotta get used to this. I actually have to get used to this because we're going to be like playing through this entire thing. Leanna, though, seems unfazed, her eyes routinely surveying her surroundings. Suddenly, she freezes. I nearly bump into her. What the?
Shh.
I fall silent as she listens. When she speaks, her voice... her voice is a whisper.
Did you hear that?
I strain my ears, listening for anything out of place. Then I hear voices amongst the trees. Bandits? A strangled scream pierces the air, scaring the flock of birds. Okay, now I actually want to hear some stuff. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm keeping my headphones on from now on because there is some ominous music playing right now. I didn't notice.
Someone might be in danger.
Her previous caution abandoned, Liana sprints towards the sound, and I follow her at her heels. We both take cover as the trees open up, revealing a man in a trench coat surrounded by 5 bandits. One more bandit lies motionless on the ground. Upon seeing their fallen comrade, the bandits all unsheath their weapons, 3 of them holding longswords and 3 of them point guns. The trenchcoat man didn't stir. His dark hair falls over his eyes, and I can't see his face.
You won't get away from us this time. Take him out.
Take him out. The man pushes open his coat and draws 2 guns as the bandits converge. Dummy. Leanna sets her jaw.
Here.
As soon as the words fall from her lips, she races out into the trees. Her hair whips behind her, and her white coattails billow in a graceful arc. She moves faster than any human, as if the air pushing her forward instead of dragging her down. Her gauntlet I wish we could see this! Her gauntlet hand clenches and her... Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. This is actually getting intense. Her gauntlet hand clenches and the blue sphere glows, then disappears as she smashes her fist into the nearest bandit. He flies away from her and crashes against a tree before crumbling into the heap.
A mage knight?
She must be with him.
Or she's after the bounty. Take her out too!
The mysterious man fires a hail of purple blasts at the bandits, catching one of them in the chest. Leanna deflects the sword from another bandit with her own blade. I can't just sit around and do nothing, I have to help. Ignoring Leanna's command, I unsheath my sword and charge into battle. Do I do something here? Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what? I have to do the matches. Liana breathes heavily as she surveys the bodies around her. She glances at me and the stranger who's still standing.
Anyone hurt?
I do a gentle pat down on myself and wince at my bruises. Nothing major. Liana nods as she fidgets with her manipulator. Sup, dude? What's up? This guy actually looks really cool. He looks like a Final Fantasy character. The man stays silent as he inspects his gun. Now that I have a better look at him, I realize that although his fierce scowl makes him seem tough, he doesn't look that much older than me. Wow, then I must look awesome compared to him. Then compared to him, I actually look awesome. I'm joking. His hair has a habit of falling around his eyes, but as he pushes it back, I notice a long scar crosses one eye. Once satisfied, he tucks his gun back into his belts and gets to his feet. He nods at us.
Thanks.
Zack Spade. I like that. He then turns away. He pauses.
Where are you headed?
Why?
There might be more bandits around. We should team up if we're going in the same direction.
He's gonna join.
Safety in numbers.
He's gonna join our party. I honestly didn't expect the whole matching battle thing to happen. He studies us in a stony silence, then his gaze flickers to her manipulator, and he relaxes.
Where are
slightly.
you going?
We're headed to Illumia.
Me too.
Me too. His voice sounds like clouds.
You're
Leanna
from the
nodded.
Mage Guild?
Yes, I'm Leanna.
I'm Artemis. Zach.
Boy.
Bright boy! All of us glance at the little blue Pongo who seemingly popped out of nowhere. And, this is our little friend.
I see.
The Pongo blinks at Zach, who stares him down. The Pongo bounces uncertainly. Zach's unblinking stare never wavers, so the Pongo scoots behind my leg for
Now that
safety.
introductions are over, let's get moving.
Love how he just joins us out of nowhere. Zach waits for us to collect our things, and once we do, we all head out back onto the road. Leanna and I lead the way, the Pongo keeping pace with us while Zach hangs a few steps behind us. I'm asking this man a question first. So what kind of gun is that Zach
You mean
carrying?
his discharger?
Discharger? What's a discharger? I hear a sound behind us. Zach raises an eyebrow, then I turn to look at him.
Did you hit your head or something?
Leanna looks a little uncomfortable.
He's not exactly from around here.
Zach
I
crosses his arm.
see.
There's a pause. So, a discharger? What is that?
It's a weapon that uses crystal spheres to power it.
Oh, so it's a gun.
Maybe?
The spheres are like bullets. Well, it's kind of a magazine in some sense, because it's used to fire bullets, or in this case, bolts of energy. Yeah, it looks uncertain. Although it made sense in my head, I can see why she might be confused. Never mind, I got it. Thanks.
Sure.
She smiles. I feel Zach's gaze on me, but his expression is hard to read. Leanna, I saw you during the fight. How are you able to move so fast?
I cast wind magic to manipulate my movements.
Ah, that makes sense. So, so it's like putting on a speed buff.
They're small adjustments, like shifting the draft to move me forward, or using a breeze to help lift me during jumps.
Dang, that sounds awesome. She grins.
Next time you're lagging behind, I'll use my wind to give you a little boost.
That would be amazing. I can already imagine myself running like the wind. Leanna seems pleased at my reaction. How did Zach know you were part of a mage
He
guild?
saw my emblem.
She lifts her arms and points to the sigil on her manipulator. What exactly does the mage guild do?
We investigate any type of magical anomaly. The Mage Guild in Havengard is actually headquartered in Illumia.
Sort of like a police force. Leanna furrows her brow.
Police?
Oh, for Pete's sake. People who keep authority. Like how detectives go out onto the field and solve mysteries.
A little like that.
Now it makes sense as to why they are both guards in Meadow Hill Village, and Zach relaxed after seeing Leanna's emblem. Well, it looks like that guard was telling the truth. There's definitely are some bandits on this road. There's something in her voice which makes me think she doesn't completely agree. What is it?
It's just, well, for bandits, they were pretty well equipped.
She stares hard at Zach, but he doesn't react. What does that mean? Are they not bandits? Leanna continues to look at
I'm
Zach.
not sure.
They were bandits.
She looks sharply at Zach, obviously caught off guard.
Sure.
That doesn't sound too convincing. The subject drops, but I still feel a little uneasy. If those guys weren't bandits, then who were they? And why were they attacking Zach? They did mention something about a bounty. Is he wanted for something? Is he a bad guy? Is he a bandit? questions circle in my mind as the conversation lulls into silence. Liana leads the way through. Though she seems to have something on her mind. Zack trails from behind. He remains on heightened alert. We travel together for quite some time with no further interruptions. I can feel my legs starting to burn from all the walking. Hey, you're getting exercise, man. That's a good thing. Liana squints at the sky.
We should make camp before it gets dark.
Zack nods.
There's a good spot up ahead which hides us from view. It'll still give us visibility on any intruders, though.
Sounds good. Zack leads the way as soon as we reach the clearing, and soon we reach the clearing. The three of us get to work on setting up camp. I roll out of my bedroll near the campfire and notice how thinly it spreads on the ground. Can this thing really be comfortable? I guess there's only one way to find out. I lie down on the bedroll and place my head behind my head. Hands behind my head. I'm so sorry for being illiterate. This isn't as bad as I thought. A yawn escapes my lips. I could definitely fall asleep here. My gaze lingers at the night sky above. The moon hangs in the inky sky, dotted with so many pinpricks of silver light. They sparkle vividly as as if trying to chase away the dark. I breathe out a breath in wonder. I never knew stars could shine so brightly. I try to pick out a few constellations, but the star patterns above are unfamiliar.
What are you looking at?
I quickly sit up to the sound of Liana's voice. She holds up 2 steaming bowls in her hand. I accept one of the bowls with a smile as she sits beside me. Just admiring the sky, this place really is beautiful. Back where I live, you don't get to see so many stars.
How come?
Light pollution. Our city is filled with so many lights that it's drawn out and drowns out the stars. Liana gazes thoughtfully at the sky.
Right. It's a little harder to see the stars in town than it is out here.
I shake my head. That's not the same. Some nights I don't see stars at all. Her eyes widen in surprise. Then she places a chin on her hand. A chin on her hand. A hand on her chin. A night sky without stars? Honestly, I barely see stars anymore either. She looks at me.
What's your world like?
It's kind of like here, but kind of different. She stares at me, waiting for me to elaborate. We don't use crystals or have magics. We definitely don't have pongos. I glance at the pongo snoozing beside me. Liana smiles as he chill. Liana smiles as his soft snores. At his soft snores. But we do have forests and towns. We speak languages. We have our own versions of academies and shops and guilds. We also have weapons and martial arts.
Like Kendo.
Yep.
That sounds like it'd be an interesting place to visit. I wonder what it's like to live in a world with no crystals.
Oh dear. She tilts her head back and returns her gaze to the sky. Underneath the moonlight, her pale skin seems to glow amidst the darkness. Her face softens as she smiles.
You're right. The stars really are beautiful.
We fall into a comfortable silence as we enjoy the tranquility of the night. After we finish eating and cleaning up, Zack approaches us.
It's getting late.
Liana nods.
I'll take first watch so you can rest.
All right. I'll take second watch.
I guess that leaves me with a third. Zack stares unblinking at me while Liana coughs nervously.
That's okay. We had an early start, and I'm sure you're tired. We should rest up and sleep through the night.
I don't want to be rude. Do you guys not trust me? It's almost like you guys don't trust me. Although I try to keep my tone light and joking, Liana looks guilty.
No, that's not. I mean, it's not that we don't trust.
Yes.
Okay, Zach, I see you. I see how it is. She looks sharply at Zach. His arms are crossed. His arms are crossed, but his expression doesn't change. Seriously? Zach nods towards Liana.
She's part of the Mage Guild, so I know she won't pull any tricks. I don't know anything about you.
I'm sorry.
Dang. As the fire in my mind, abates, I realize Zach has a point. I've given him no reason to trust me. If I were in his shoes, I'd be cautious as well. I nod. Alright, I suppose that's fair.
I better get to sleep then. Good night.
Good night. Zach nods. Liana flashes me one last smile before crawling into her bedroll. As she lies down, Zach positions himself against a tree and takes a seat. If we're going to be traveling together, I should make an effort to get to know what kind of person he is. I walk over to Zach. Hey. Mind if I sit? He gestures for me to join him, so I do. Obviously, I'll have to lead the conversation. So, how's the weather? Zach stares at me. Alright, let's switch the gears. Are you a dog or a cat?
Is this going anywhere?
I'm trying to build up some trust here, but you've got me halfway. Zach looks away. Great, I guess he doesn't want to talk. Dog. We're getting somewhere! What?
I prefer canines.
Oh, cool. The silence creeps in again. So where are you going? So we're all going to Lumia?
Yep.
What brings you there?
I'm meeting someone.
Oh,
someone
a friend?
from work.
Someone from work. What do you do?
I'm a mercenary.
An acceptable murder? Acceptable murder. Mercenary, that's B-A. That explains so much, and acceptable murder. Okay. I want both. I want these two because I don't want to. I mean, acceptable murder. I don't know. Seriously? That's so cool. She's done unconsciously. His stony face without cracks to reveal his surprise. Okay.
So, why are you going to Illumia?
It's taking me to the Mage Academy. He studies me again.
You a mage? You don't have a manipulator.
I shake my head. No, I'm looking for answers. He nods in understanding and doesn't pry. Until I try to stop it, a yawn escapes.
You should get some sleep. We have an early start in the morning.
We're building allies. We're making allies. We're building trust. That's a good thing. That sounds familiar. I push myself to standing. Good night. He nods. I lie down in my bedroll and scooch around to make myself comfortable. I try closing my eyes to sleep, but something still doesn't feel right. Oh yeah, I need a pillow. Sitting up, I look around for anything. I didn't even need the rest of that text to be there to know Pongo was gonna be the pillow. I'll just make do. The little Pongo rolls over in his sleep. I don't want to disturb him. Plus, that would be pretty rude. Yes, it would! We do not use little cute Pongos for pillows. We have Kirby's for that. I don't find anything else suitable and decide to just make do without one. Lying back down on my bed, I close my eyes and eventually drift to sleep. Alright, next day. Let's go. A dull throbbing in my back pulls me awake. I don't fully appreciate... I want to bet it's Pongo. A yawn escapes and I stretch widely. Aside from the achiness, I actually felt well rested. I sit up and glance around. Zach leans against a tree with his head down. His hair covers his eyes, so I can't tell if they're opened or closed. Regardless, his hands rest handles on his dischargers. Creepy. Looking around again, I fail to spot Liana. Where did she go? I think I hear a cry in the distance. Is that her? I should go investigate. Crossing over the hill, I see Liana practicing in an open field. She grips her blade in a fighting stance, her face stern with concentration. She swings her blade in a high arc, ending with a graceful spin. Judging by how fluid and accurate her movement is, it's clear she's dedicated many years to perfecting her craft. Her hair whips around as she turns, but never seems to blow in her face. Even with heavy armor, her movements are still nimble, as if she's wearing no armor at all. I wonder if all of that has to do with her wind magic. Once she notices me, she lowers her sword.
Oh, sorry. Did I wake you? I moved out here so I wouldn't disturb you.
No, I was already up. I didn't see you at the camp, so I came looking.
Gotcha.
Glancing down at my feet, I spot the beaming Pongo. Liana giggles.
Looks like you guys are best friends already.
More like stalker. I'm going to say, of course, I love the little Pongo. I don't care if we don't see him again, but still. The best of friends, isn't that right? The Pongo nods excitingly. It's pretty early. Do you want to begin your mornings with a warm-up? Liana nods.
It helps me wake up and prepare for the day ahead. Also, it's become a part of my routine, so it just doesn't feel right when I don't do it.
Okay, I'll be right back. Just give me like a few seconds. Sorry, guys. I thought I heard someone at the door. I know what you mean. I can't really go through my morning routine on Earth. I can't really go through my morning routine from Earth here on Terra, and it feels a bit strange.
Right.
Liana looks down. The awkwardness creeps into silence. She probably took that in a negative way, which wasn't my intention. That's okay, though. I can always make a new routine.
New routine?
I unsheath my blade and grip it. This morning practice you seem to do is a good place to start. She grins.
Considering how well you handled yourself yesterday, I'm curious to see what's the extent of your skill set.
I smirk. Only one way to find out. So, what's the lesson today, Senpai?
Sand pie?
I shake my head. Never mind. She blinks then refocuses and matches my fighting stance by raising her sword.
Since you already have some experience with the blade, sparring will be the best way to gauge your skills.
I'm ready. I tighten the grip on my blade. Ready? Ready when you are.
Here I come!
Okay, so are we doing this again? Liana dashes towards me. Her movements seem slower than what they were during the bandit fight. It seems like she isn't using her wind magic. Alright, we have to click these as fast as we can. Let's go! I managed to keep pace with her every single time. I think I'm about to get the upper hand. Her intensity increases until we're equally matched again. Even so, I can feel her holding back without using magic. Mage Knights are still a formidable opponent with a sword, especially if they're anything like Liana. We go back and forth with a few swings until Liana strikes from above. I hurriedly blocked with my sword, but I lose my balance in my hurry and topple to the ground, landing on my back. Oof. Liana kneels down beside me.
Your fundamentals are solid. If you keep practicing, I'm sure you'll be a formidable warrior in no time.
I'm really enjoying this. That's pretty high praise coming from you. She smiles and blushes. Leanna extends a hand to me and helps me get back onto my
Would be
feet.
better if I could watch you spar with someone else. That way, I can see your movement from different angles and give you better feedback.
Are we about to fight Zack? Because if we are, we're not ready. Unless the Pongo can use a sword, the only other option is Zack. I look around and spot Zack leaning against a tree, closer to our sparring location. He watches us with his arms crossed. Wait, how long has he been there? Leanna rushes over to him.
Zack! Would you be willing to duel with him?
She points at me.
I'd like to get a better look at his technique.
He merely stares at her.
Oh, right. You need a blade.
Leanna hands her blade to Zack. He takes it from her and he
What are
inspects
the
it.
rules of the duel?
Standard spar. Be the first one to knock your opponent to the ground.
Okay. Zack nods and heads towards the field. As Leanna returns to me, we share a glance. That was surprisingly easy. I guess it's not in a mercenary's nature to back down from a fight, even if it's a fake one.
Are you two ready?
I step a decent distance away from Zack and ready my blade. Yep. Zack continues to stand there. I look at Leanna again. She just shrugs. He nods.
Okay, begin!
I rush forward. Did he just knock me out? Did he just knock me out? Did this man just knock me out? Without me even trying. And suddenly I'm on the ground, staring up at the sky with an aching pain in my chest and the wind knocked out of me. I groan.
Strange. I thought he'd last at least 2 shots.
This man knocked me out! You know what? Honestly, I'm not shocked. I'm not that shocked. This man had a Cloud and Zack. This man had a anime protagonist strength about him.
Zack!
What?
What? Honestly, I'd be in the same position as Zack right now. I'm like, what? You wanted me to duel him?
Why did you use your discharger?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah,
The whole point was to have a sword match with him.
You didn't list that as a rule.
he's not wrong. He's not wrong, Liana. You should have been more specific with the rule sets for this match. Her frustration is evident on her face.
Why else would I give you my sword?
Why did you give me your sword?
I knew exactly what he was going to say. I knew it.
For you to use!
She snatches the blade back from Zack and heads over to me.
Are you hurt?
My pride! Yep. So this is what it's like. So this is how it feels. So this is what it feels like to be emasculated twice! My gaze drifts past Liana to this blue sky behind her. At least the view is nice. Liana helps me up again.
The one and only lesson you need to know when fighting. Do whatever it takes to win.
As soon as he's done speaking, Zack turns around and heads back to the campsite. Liana huffs.
Mercenaries can be so annoying sometimes.
He's probably seen some heavy stuff. Mercenaries take all sorts of jobs, including some really unsavory types. That probably influences their battle ethics and the code of survival to be more brutal than others. Liana ponders my words.
That's true.
Honestly, I like that response because it is true. So many people have seen so much blood. When it comes to like mercenaries or people who have to be like warriors or fighters, they see so much in their lives. So many people who die. So many people dying, so much bloodshed and stuff like that. It's bound to change your philosophies about the world and stuff like that. When did this turn deep? Oh my gosh, that's true. We pack up our things and clean up the campsite. Then we continue our journey. As we walk, we slip into an uncomfortable silence. Zach lingers behind Liana and I while the Pongo returns to his usual spot on my head. After a few hours, it doesn't feel like we're getting any closer. So, how long until we reach Lumia?
We'll need to stop at Raven Pass to restock and spend the night. But if we continue to make good time, we'll reach Illumia by midday tomorrow.
One more day of walking. If only I brought a bit fit, I would have had my daily steps done for a lifetime. I should really get back to running. Anyway, I nod and we fall back into silence. By mid-afternoon, we arrive at the gates of a settlement even smaller than Metal Hill Village. This doesn't look smaller. The town consists of an inn and a few shops, the bare essentials. They probably only ever see travelers like us, people passing through on their way to Illumia.
Okay, we should stock up on supplies.
I'll be making a stop at the weaponsmith.
Zach pats the two holstered discharges at his side. Now that I think about it, I saw him use one during the bandit ambush. The other one must have already been damaged.
I'll check out the shop since my weapons are okay on repairs.
I'll go with you. Liana smiles. Zach nods.
See you soon then.
He turns down another path.
Let's go.
Let's go! Liana smiles back at me. I actually wonder, is there anything? What up? We find a general store with ease since the marketplace itself is quite small. In fact, I'm surprised by how busy the store is. This looks like the same place we were in last time. I guess if you're the only general store around, business is bound to be good. As Liana picks out a couple of items, I look around the shop. I notice people of all backgrounds wearing clothes ranging from the leather I'd see back at Metal Hill to intricately embroiled robes. They really do get all types of traveling through here. Once Liana is finished, I follow her to the counter and pay for our items.
Will that be all for today?
I'm sorry, I just noticed that the music just stopped, and it sounds so ominous right now. Liana nods.
Your total comes to 34 coins.
Liana's eyes widen.
34 coins for these? It should be at most 30.
The shopkeep frowns apologetically. He doesn't seem too happy about the price either.
I'm sorry, miss. The goods themselves are only 20 coins. The rest of the cost is the 70% tax.
Huh? Tax. I hope you at least get free universal health care and education with those taxes. Both Liana and the shopkeep look at me in confusion. Never mind. Liana furrows her brow.
I don't remember the tax being so high in the past.
The mayor only recently increased the tax.
Has no one asked why? It doesn't seem fair.
The man nods.
We did in the beginning, but then the mayor hired enforcers of the new law.
Liana frowns, but doesn't say anything more. The shopkeeper continues to look apologetic as I honestly thought he was about to, he was just trying to scam us. But now we find out that it's the mayor's fault. The shopkeeper continues to look apologetic as he gestures to her items.
I'm really sorry about this, miss, but I don't have any other choice.
I understand. It's not your fault.
Aww. She hands over the coins.
Thank you for understanding. Safe travels.
felt bad for the merchant. As we head out, Leanna seems quieter than usual. Are you okay?
Something about this just doesn't seem right. New tax rules and new guards to enforce them? I came through here only a few days ago on my way to Meadow Hill, and the tax hadn't been changed then.
Okay, then there's something definitely wrong.
It all seems too sudden.
We should find out what's going on here. Leanna blinks.
Really?
I nod. We can't just leave it all alone if something foul is at play here. Leanna smiles.
You're right. Anyway, let's go meet up with Zach.
I nod. We make our way to the lane of armory and the smiths and peek through a few shop windows before we spot Zach. A guard looms over him. Uh-oh, this doesn't look promising. Leanna frowns as we enter the shop.
This doesn't concern you. Stay out of it.
It became my concern when you threatened him in front of me.
Threatened? All I told him was what may happen to his store if he doesn't pay up for these protective services.
Take this man! Take that guard out! Right now, Zach. Please.
Leave.
Now.
Now.
Yes. The guard
What
laughs.
makes you think I'd listen to you?
Zach glares at the guard as he flips open his coat to reveal his discharger. He grips the second discharger on the table. The color drains from the guard's face.
2 dischargers with purple spheres and a black trench coat. It can't be.
Zach shifts slightly, increasing the ferocity in his eyes. The guard tries to hide his fear with false vibrato, but he turns towards the shopkeeper.
You're lucky your friend was here today. He won't always be here, though.
After imparting one last subtle threat, the guard hurries out of the shop, brushing past Leanna and I. Zach relaxes, and the shop keeps eyes in
Thank
release.
you.
That have to do with this new tax you mentioned?
The shopkeeper
The
nods.
taxes just keep growing. I've tried to keep my prices as low as possible for the customers, but then our taxes grow and, well, you saw what happens next.
His fingers tremble as he takes back the discharger. I think he's still shaken up by the whole
I'm
thing.
sorry. I still need a few more minutes to finish up the repairs. It would have been done by now if we hadn't been interrupted.
Zach nods. The weaponsmith gives him a gentle smile as he returns to his workroom. Tax issues again?
It looks like it's affecting all of the stores, and it's only going to get worse.
I'm not going to let it escalate.
Let's go, Zach! Okay, I actually like this guy. I really like this guy. Leanna and I glance at Zach in
You
surprise.
two head to the inn. I have something to take care of first.
What are you planning to do?
I'm going to pay a visit to the mayor.
We're coming too. Zach looks surprised.
Something here is just not right. We can't sit by and do nothing.
No, we cannot. The shopkeeper returns and places Zach's discharger on the
All
counter.
fixed.
Thanks. Here.
Zach offers coins to the vendor, who shakes his hand.
Please, don't worry about it. You've already done me a huge favor by helping me with the guard.
Zach holsters his discharger and places the coins on the counter
I
anyway.
insist.
I like Zach. Zach is cool. Zach is very cool. The shopkeeper looks conflicted, then he sighs and nods gracefully. Aww. Zach leads the way out of the shop and through the town. His footsteps are long and full of purpose, which is a change from his quiet, cautious demeanor. I can't help but look at him with a newfound respect. This is the first time I've seen him so determined and driven. Soon we arrive in front of a large, elaborate mansion. It looks very out of place compared to the modest shops in the rest of the town. 2 men guard the entrance. Zach pauses and sizes up the guards. Which one do I want to do though?